I think once all of these nominees are in front of the senators, both for their individual meetings and then for the confirmation hearings, I think they're going to win senators over. I mean, every nominee that President Trump has put forward is extremely well qualified. They're going to bring this reform agenda to Washington. And when you look at the overall body of nominees have been put forward, I mean, just think for a moment of the economic team that President Trump has put forward with Scott Bessent and Kevin Hassett and Howard Lutnick and Jameson Greer and so many others that are going to be putting together this, make sure we get the tax bill redone along with some of the new things such as no tax on tips, get this economic explosion going once again back to the economy that we had under President Trump's first 4 years in office. I think so many Americans have been turned off and dispirited by what they've seen under Biden, but that's why President Trump got such a mandate and won the popular vote, because people want to see his policies back in place.
Why did Joe Biden pardon his son for 11 years? It's because his son is targeted by this new administration and he's concerned about it. And so we talk about whether or not someone's going to be, we talk about whether or not somebody's going to be not held politically accountable, they're above the law. You know who's above the law? Donald Trump was convicted of 34 counts of felony, and he is not going to be sentenced because of that. He's above the law. Justice Clarence Thomas has ethical problems and is ruling on cases involving his wife, and nobody can hold him to account. He's above the law. So are we concerned about a president trying to protect his son politically, or are we concerned about another president, a former president who's coming into office who's not going to be held accountable for times and ways that he has violated our public trust?
No, there's a reason why President Trump picked Pete Hegseth to lead the DOD. Two-time Bronze Star recipient, someone who served in combat in Iraq and in Afghanistan, as you said, Ivy League pedigree. You want someone there leading the DOD who has served in combat, who knows what it's like to be shot at. Because a big part of the reason why President Trump won, he said he's going to stop these endless wars. You look also, say, with the Tulsi Gabbard pick. You look at the mentality that President Trump is bringing in, saying the U.S. should not be the world police. We're going to bring peace. We're going to bring stability. But it's, keep in mind, under his first 4 years, the only time in history we've never had a war. That's what he's going to bring back. And Pete Hegseth will be an important part of that.
Kash Patel is the nominee to be the new FBI director, but there is one now. What happens next?
Well, first of all, we got to go and President Trump, after he's formally sworn in on January 20th, and they'll make the moves to go and put Kash in, and that will be for the administration to go and handle. But Kash is another one who has a very impressive bio. Deputy Director at DNI, Chief of Staff at the Department of Defense. He's been a prosecutor. He's been someone who's been a public defender. Another one, too, especially with President Trump's comments last night, sending a pretty clear signal to the terrorists. They better let the hostages go. Don't forget that under President Trump in the first term, Kash was a lead hostage negotiator. And so this is someone who's very, very qualified to step in and do this. I hope it happens as soon as possible after January 20th.
But does he want